And I look at it a little bit differently. I recently had a licensee that probably is not going to sign on with us because they just de-affiliated from CrossFit. And it was brought up to me, not by the owner on the call, but by a key influential, like the GM, decision maker. How do we know that the things that you say as WTF Gym Talk are not going to come back to haunt us as an urban movement license? How you might poorly represent the whole thing. And I was not prepared for it, but I respected it, and I thought it was a really smart conversation that we could have around that. And when I think of making content, and I'm curious how much, like, what your position on this would be, I am trying. There are times I'm looking to take shots fired at a thought, a belief, a paradigm, or an organization, not to shoot and drive. This isn't a drive-by. I'm showing up on the front yard that you're into, the internet, and I'm making a statement about something. Recently, I did this No Bull video.
That was great.
Okay, so the fat shaming and using the term overly fat, and I'm going to show up on the internet. I'm going to make this statement, and it's me shooting a shot towards your house. And I'm going to stand there, and I'm totally down for us to have a duel or a conversation, however you want to look at it. I've been called a cyberbully so many times.
Well, but
go ahead.
I think there's a difference between what you're doing and what's being, what people are saying, if that's the case. You're not shooting a shot at the house. You're shooting a shot outside so that somebody will come to the window and be like, what are you shooting in the street for? I'd like to talk. That maybe someone could argue, why doesn't he just ring the doorbell? And that would be a gentler way to do it. And a reasonable answer to that would be less people come to the window.
I don't have a business in DMs. I have a business in public content.
Right.
And that's.
But I mean, even you could soften up how you share your public content. The question is, would it be as effective,
or would it be as authentic?
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Would it be as authentic of a way? And in the world of, again, even how much people dislike maybe the marketing principles and designs of companies like Gym Launch or the things Hermosi really brought to the forefront, they work. Like, there are things to get people's attention. You know,
do they?
They work for the purpose of the click, and for my purpose of getting someone to even know that a girl had thoughts on Noble and it got published. That was a thing that was not even a headline. It was not even a big splash. It was something I saw that was very interesting to talk about. When you're making content now, and you think back to the 4-9 scenario, would you have like, besides like, okay, if I'm going to blast something, I'm going to blast this my own solution. So it's not just shitting on a bunch of people, but shitting on them and then saying this is how you can get out of shit. Has there been anything you've pulled back on recently? Because I've had to pull back on some stuff.
I still pull back on 4-9s.
Okay, so even today you pull back on that.
It's a heavy weight that I really just want to drop the weight and let it just fall down and explode. But I won't. And I'm constantly trying to think of ways to do a better job. And the reason why I think that's so important is I think our industry needs a lift. Our industry needs to improve in a big, big, big way. And I made a post today referencing your post from earlier today about the idea that fitness is not regulated.
Oh, yeah.
And that's really good and has some really big fucking nightmares with that too. And my post was talking about the idea that fitness is not healthcare. Here's why. Here's how it could be. And part of how it could be is it needs to be a place that people can think about having a career. And if we're paying people a wage that disallows them from earning enough money in little enough time to be in that career, then we stunt the incentive for them to get better. And if we're stunting the incentive for them to get better, we might as well just resign to the fact that fitness isn't getting any better. This is where fitness is. And for every argument that I make that is a bad way to pay, there is a person who is prepared to step forward and say, look at how it worked for me though. This person is doing great. This person in my business is doing great. And my answer to that is, and that's amazing. I'm really happy that it worked in your isolated environment. Generally, it doesn't work. That's what I'm speaking to.
In the 4-9s thing, obviously, because of your end goal and mission, I can see where the 4-9s thing is something that riles you up. Kind of like I love brand and marketing, so that no bull kind of thing really riled me up. What else? I mean, like, what else has really riled you up that maybe you pulled away from? One thing this snowball thing I did recently was the closest thing to it, but when it was the Cosmo controversy of
I spoke about that.
okay, the plus size models. Yeah, I think you did a live or something. You did like a long form kind of thing on it. You went for a couple minutes on that.
20.
That which is a good amount of time to spend on that topic. What other topics like that have hit that have you pulled away from anything because of? And again, I don't believe this whole cancel culture thing. I don't think it's like I don't listen to them. Like, cancel me, what does that mean? They're gonna take my phone away? They're gonna take my camera away? You can't cancel me. I'm infinite. I will make another account tomorrow. Like, you cannot cancel me.